this video, I am making the King Arthur recipe for Christstollen. This is a German Christmas bread, and yes, I suppose it is a fruitcake, but not like the fruitcake you may be more familiar with in America. My grandmother made this, and I have fond childhood memories of her version. This fruit bread has nuts, dried fruits, and a delicious marzipan center. I'm making the homemade almond paste version in the recipe, so it should be soft, delicious, sweet, with a wonderful almond flavor. Now let's go into my kitchen and get baking. I am using the King Arthur Baker's Blend dried fruit, but I'm also adding extra raisins because I just love them so much. Frankly, I'd be content if the entire fruit blend was a single blend of raisins, but just to be festive, and also I love this particular Baker's fruit blend, I'm going to use it. You have the option to soak the fruit in orange juice or alcohol, and I'm using Grand Gala, which is an orange brandy, and I'm soaking it for about 36 hours. To work it in a food processor or mixer, but since I'm making a half recipe, I'm going to do it in my mini Cuisinart Smart Stick blender. I'll link this below if you don't know about it. I use this all the time, and then it comes with the immersion blender and a whip attachment, so you can make a small amount of whipped cream really quickly with your immersion blender. It's fantastic. Alright, so I need, let's see, almost a cup of almond flour. It's pretty much equal parts confection of sugar and the almond flour. A cup. transfer this to a bowl. So when I'm ready for it, I can just easily get to it and not do what I'm doing right now. That's nicer than store-bought. It's so soft. I know marzipan can be a little bit of a polarizing ingredient, but it gives nice flavor to this traditional Christmas bread, sweet bread. Alright, so we're going to use a scale to weigh everything out. And it says just to mix all the ingredients. I have my recipe right here. Let's start off with some instant yeast. Alright, so let's get this yeast in here. Very important. Need some warm water. Tear out my scale. I have a big kitchen, but the little area I film in is just that little. You probably have one section in your kitchen where you like to do your work. I either have my big cutting board here or my baking things here. Tear out again. Stick of softened butter. Be careful because it is very soft. Dry milk. Scale again. Of course, I have the recipe linked in the description. This doesn't have a lot of sugar. It's a lightly sweet dough, not super sweet. I think that was just enough. Oh, perfect. It calls for mace. I don't have mace, but I have a whole nutmeg, and it's the outside of the shell that needs, so I'm going to grate that in there with the microplane. It's so fragrant. Needs quite a bit, so I'm going to keep grating. So the flavorings, as if the soaked fruit is not flavorful enough, it's got the, well in my case, a nutmeg mace blend, let's call it that. It'll still be delicious. Cardamom, which is my absolute favorite, and lemon zest. So I need, let's see, half a teaspoon. Oh gosh, the smell. Oh, it's heaven. You know, we all have our childhood smells we like. This was mine from, even though this is from my German side of the family, my other side of the family is Swedish, and there's a lot of cardamom going on in Swedish baking. Alright, and lemon. I'm going to wash this and come back. Alright, my lemon is clean, and this one does actually have a measurement as far as weight. 14 grams of grated rind, and I have 2 lemons just in case one doesn't get me there. Be very careful not to get any of the white. The yellow tastes great, the white tastes awful. smooth now. So I'm going to transfer it to a bowl. I'm going to use a glass bowl so I can kind of see that it's rising. And it's still a soft dough. I'm going to spritz a little nonstick spray in there. And I keep dipping this in water because it helps me get things off the pan. Silicone is great for most nonstick, but even for something like this, it needs a little help. So you can use water. I don't want to add more fat. I want to try to keep that ratio just right. Remember, this is a bread, it's not a cake, so it's going to have that stretch in it. Right, let me smooth a little bit, again, so I can monitor the rise progress. Good. Cover it with my little food shower cap for bread and baking. Keeps it nice and warm. Okay, and I'll be back when it has risen. Nice and puffy now. You can see the rise. Now I need to knead in the fruits that have been soaking for, gosh, I think 2 days now. Very delicious. And because there is some syrup in the bottom, I'm going to use a slotted spoon. There's a little bit left in there. I'm also going to add the nuts that I toasted earlier. Oh yes, it's so airy and light from the rise. It should be just packed with fruit. How delicious. So from here, I'm going to put the dough, put some sticky stuff there, wipe that off, the mat, and I'm going to spray it again with the oil spray. Just gonna make this in half. This is where the marzipan or the homemade, what do they call this, almond paste comes in. I'm going to shape it into a little bit of a log. I'll go in the center. Then let's move it a little more over. I'm going to use a spatula to flip it. because it is so sticky with all the soaked fruit. Stollen has a specific shape. It's supposed to look like the baby Jesus bundled up in swaddling attire. Oh, that's attire, a blanket. So it's going to have a little bump and then a smooth to look like a baby wrapped up once it's coated with all of the powdered sugar. Okay, so that one's ready, and I'm going to put that on a parchment baking pan. Which I have here already. Now we see why the greased mat was needed. Very sticky, but makes it easier for the bread to rise when there's a lot of moisture in the dough. And it tends to be very tender as well. Look at all that gorgeous fruit. Oh, I'm so excited. Neaten this up a little bit. We don't have a crooked swaddling. Well, babies move around, don't they? And the baby Jesus. Hope I'm not offending anyone. Yeah, this will be good. Alright, so these are going to rise now another, I think 45 minutes. This time of year, you know, this is the Christmas bread. Obviously, it's supposed to be the baby Jesus. The space heaters are on, so I like to rise my doughs near those. That really kind of makes things perk up quickly. Come out of the oven. They are at the 190 degree temperature, which tells you how done something is. Always temp your bread. So the next thing is to brush them with butter while they're warm. This is before I move them to the cooling rack, because this will help the confectioner's sugar stick, because it needs to have a pretty thick coating of that on there. To me it looks like snow, but it's supposed to be, you know, a swaddling cloth. Whatever it is supposed to be, or you want to think of it as, it's delicious. What's Christmas without some sugar, right? So much fruit. This is a fruit cake. You know, it's a bread. It's very fruity, very dense. I would say like 35 to 40% fruit. It's cooled off. I'm going to cut some slices. Lots of fruit. You can see the It's not marzipan, it's the almond filling, the homemade marzipan there in the middle. Get rid of the yeast. Oh, it's so flavorful. Lots of texture from the toasted nuts and of course the fruit. Taste the citrus from that zest and the subtle balance of the nutmeg mace hybrid that I used and the cardamom. It was just delicious. Yum.